Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at what would a psychic or tarot reader tell them about you. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Labradorite, along with this group of cards. Group 2 is the lemon calcite, along with this group of cards. And group 3 is the purple fluorite, along with this group of cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Labradorite. So I'm going to start with these cards to see what would a psychic or tarot reader tell them about you. So we have the Ace of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Page of Cups, so more water energy. Four of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Death, which is Scorpio energy. The Sun, which is Leo energy. Food, nourishment, relationships, health. Lightning, power. The Siren, a temptation may lead you astray. Water, cleansing. And healing. So right away, I would say that a psychic or tarot reader looking at the cards that are out here currently would definitely say that you have been doing a lot of work on your emotional body, a lot of work at addressing maybe some long hidden fears, long hidden feelings, some wounds of the past that you've been holding on to and carrying forth that have really shaped your experiences in your present. And there's this desire to create a better future for yourself. And you've come to the point in this journey where you may have projected for a while the shortcomings you were experiencing in love or in your life. You may have been projecting a lot of that out onto circumstances or other people, but that something has shifted to where you're starting to recognize the need to do an inventory, to go within, to really clean up your side of the street, so to speak. That really the change that you are able to affect, it starts first and foremost with yourself. This definitely feels with this Ace of Cups that heartbreak or love could be a theme that you have been focusing on. But in terms of really literally here with this healing card, healing from some heartbreak of the past, or really healing the stories that you've been telling yourself, rewriting the narrative or the script of your life in terms of your expectations of love, what love means to you, how you want to show up in a relationship going forward, and the type of partner or behavior that you are willing to accept. With this Power card, there may have been experiences or relationships in the past where you really compromised yourself. You really gave your power away to somebody else. You really let the emotional needs of somebody else kind of determine the direction of the relationship going forward. You may have held back on speaking some truth, or tried to dilute yourself down in order to fit into the expectation maybe that others had placed upon you. It could be perceptions about society, or even your family, or just things that previous romantic partners that you'd been with, trying to really mold yourself into a shape that was pleasing for them, and that may have come at quite an expense to the truth of your heart, to what truly resonated with you. Sort of this energy of saying yes when you really meant no. And so with this Page of Cups here, and just this lone figure with her hands kind of hovering over this cup of love, coupled with this Four of Swords, I feel that, you know, you're really not, and even with the Death card, that romance, a new relationship is not at the forefront of your mind at this point in time. You could be quite closed off to love, almost this energy of closed for maintenance. Really having taken a bold step to focus on your own emotional health, your own emotional well-being, to really stepping into this power, into a state of wholeness, coming to terms with the Death card and the Sun card here, both the light and the shadow aspects of yourself. In terms of who you are, what it is that you want to experience, what you have experienced in the past, and what you desire for yourself going forward. That you're very much in a transitional period right now, very much in a period of transformation. And so if this person was asking a tarot reader or psychic about your receptivity to love at this point in time, I feel that the message they would get is that you're really not looking for romance. That's not your top priority. You're really focusing on loving yourself, on filling your own cup, kind of taking that energy that you may have been pouring into others, or a desire for romance, a desire for partnership, and instead kind of redirecting that force within, kind of building yourself up, rebuilding yourself, transforming yourself from the inside out. With this Siren card and the temptation may lead you astray, I feel that for some of you, this would have been where you almost were a serial monogamous, maybe jumping from relationship to relationship with very little time in between partners or in between dating to really kind of go over the experiences that you had with a previous person, to really process that, to really come to terms with what was working, what wasn't working, that there may have in the past been a desire for companionship, almost this fear of your own emotions, this fear of being alone, wanting to avoid looking at some of these heavier and denser emotions that you just then kind of carried from relationship to relationship, kind of adding to that cup of maybe sorrow or loss, feelings of not being heard, not being understood, not having your needs met. But then instead of, you may have been for a while seeking that validation and fulfillment from outside people, outside situations, relationships themselves, but that something has really shifted within you with that Death card, where you're now able to resist that temptation, or you're working on that, resisting the temptation to enter into another relationship too quickly. You are resisting the temptation to seek this fulfillment, or to kind of put a bandage on some of these wounds through outside distractions, or again, maybe just admiration or loving energy from others, that you've instead shifted that focus and have really come to this point of knowing that you need to prioritize yourself at this point in time. If you hope to have different experiences than what you may have had in the past, then it really is calling for this kind of death and rebirth energy, stepping more into almost with this child here, like a beginner's mind, working on kind of clearing away some of the old patterning, the old, the ways you were showing up in a relationship and the experiences that you were having, so that you can step out once again and open your heart once again in the future, with this expectation that things can work out better, this curiosity about what else is out there in love, as opposed to really putting yourself out there with all of these kind of expectations and these wounds about, you know, certain things which may repeatedly have happened to you in the past with love, you know, a series of maybe like betrayals, or feeling that who you are authentically is somebody that is not very lovable, that you've been focusing on, again, really accepting yourself, really loving yourself, so that you can put yourself out there with the Sun card in a more authentic fashion going forward, when this kind of transformation journey, this self-love journey has reached this point where you're feeling very confident, you're feeling very empowered, you're very self-aware, you're very aware of your emotional needs and are very willing to advocate for those needs, and willing also to walk away if these needs are not met in the future. So definitely a time of introspection, this kind of solo and healing journey that promises to be very positive for you. But again, if someone were asking a psychic or tarot reader about you, this would look like a very self-focused energy right now. Somebody who's not really receptive to love at this point in time, or at least knows that there are some things that need to be accomplished on their side before they are able to become that love that they are hoping to receive. So I'm going to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 1, what would a tarot reader or psychic tell this person about you? Okay, and we have Bat Spirit. Rebirth is assured. So again, there's that death energy, that transformation, this metamorphosis in the heart space and in your perceptions, ideas, and expectations of love that is currently taking place. I'm also drawn actually on this healing card, which is number 5, and then also on this Bat Spirit, which is a number 5, and 5 being a number of transformation and change. So this again speaks to this, almost this cocoon that you're in, this chrysalis. You're in this process of becoming, of redefining yourself, reevaluating and really realizing and stepping into that sense of self-worth and value, where you may have compromised that value in the past. Really in a place of reshaping yourself to how you will put yourself out there in the future and what you will accept in return, going forward in romantic connections. And this also speaks to really following your instincts, following your guidance, navigating purely by feeling, and also, you know, with that sense of feeling that speaks to the feelings, the emotions, these emotional waters. There's so much water in this spread right here. So it really feels like some deep dives, some deep shadow work that's taking place. Kind of as you are sifting through experiences of the past, or, you know, these expectations that you have, or, you know, even identifying some kind of unconscious wounds or triggering that may have been kind of magnetizing in experiences and people that just kind of reinforce the narratives, the stories that you've been telling yourself as you're kind of feeling your way through these things. This is a process of really being able to identify and discern what works for you, what is something that is best left behind, best left transformed, and really, you know, feels almost like a call from your soul, a call from your heart, that some maintenance is required at this point in your life on you in the heart space to clear out some of that old baggage, with this overflowing Ace of Cups here as well. You know, some of these wounds, heartbreaks, tears of the past that maybe, you know, you're still shedding for a previous partner that you just keep carrying forward with you. So it's almost like the energy of another person that kind of functions as a wedge in the possibility of new connections for you. And you've come to this point almost of enough being enough, this need to kind of clear things out, this need to extricate yourself from some of these emotional and energetic ties to experiences or people of the past. And the work on doing this, again, with that bat, and they really navigate in the darkness through echolocation, sending out a vibrational beacon, and waiting for that kind of bounce back, that response. And I feel that this would be how you are navigating through this. Just kind of as you're dealing with one kind of aspect or area of your life, something else then kind of emerges. You're in this process of maybe being also highly triggered by a lot of things. It could be a period of deep kind of sensitivity, which might be something of note from a psychic or tarot reader as well to this person, that you're extra sensitive at this point in time. You might be extra emotional at this point in time, or even kind of irritable at this point in time, because there's so much coming up from your subconscious at you. There's so much that is really shifting even in how you're moving through the world at this point in time, that you might be very quick to be triggered by something. It's because a lot of this healing is really this deep soul healing, this deep emotional healing is taking place, and it's something to where you're not setting out with a goal like, today I'm going to heal my heartbreak from childhood, tomorrow I'm going to deal with something with my family of origin. No, this is just kind of one thing is kind of triggered, and you're sort of forced to look at that, or you're choosing to look at that, as opposed to kind of block that off or distract yourself. And as you're kind of working through the layers of that, something else then comes up. This leads to that, which leads to that. It almost feels like a web of healing. Like there's all these little threads, all these little interconnected things, epiphanies that are happening, where you're starting to realize where patterns are emerging of repeating even archetypes or experiences, or ways that you might have shown up, or even feelings that you had that were kind of sequential in these different experiences, romantic, platonic, family, and it's started sort of this process of kind of following those threads back to the matrix, where then other sort of threads branch off from there. And so this is a deep and multi-level healing that is taking place. It's very instinctual. It's something which is definitely guided by your higher self. And so again, a psychic or tarot reader would probably tell this person that you're on this quest, you're on this journey deep within. The waters you are wading through are very deep. There's a lot of shadows that are coming up, but through all of that, you are really in this process of kind of filtering through the debris that you may have been carrying around in the heart space, so that your light can emerge. You're navigating this darkness purely by feeling, by instinct, really leaning into this, allowing these emotions to surface and to purge and to process as they need to. And with each step that you take, you are coming closer to, who you are authentically. You're coming closer to defining what it is that you want, and being able to really embody that, and then project that out, shine that forth, make that known to others. Definitely in this process of teaching people how to treat you, which seems to be an evolving process as you're learning how to treat yourself. And so kind of gradually, step by step, then that is transferring out into the exterior world and your material circumstances and relationships. So let me get another card here to see what would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person. Okay, so we have strategy. So this again ties in with that concept of a web that is being revealed to you, these threads that are interconnected. Trying to really strategize a way through all of this to kind of deal with some of these heavy things, lots of heavy things that might be coming up all at once, and just really having to take it piece by piece. And so I feel that they would, again, a psychic or tarot reader would tell this person that this is really, this journey of self, this journey of self-love is very consuming of your attention, of your energy. It's top priority at this point in time. But it is with the long-term intention of creating better options, possibilities, and results for yourself in the future. This isn't just, for not that it's ever fun, but for the sheer fun of doing shadow work and, addressing some kind of heavy things and wounds. But there is a larger plan in place here that you may have reached some kind of a breaking point as far as really recognizing that something needed to shift. Even with these 4 swords just kind of laid out on this carpet here, it could have just been like heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And it came to this point where it was no longer sustainable, where something just kind of clicked or resonated within you that you needed to really take some time to evaluate things, to really take responsibility for your role in some of the circumstances that you may have found yourself in, to really seek to identify why do these same scenarios or same types of people keep showing up? Why do these same experiences keep happening? And really in this process of kind of laying it all out there, really kind of trying to work your way through things, work your way through the experiences of the past, really digging below the surface of relationships or, people or experiences to see, what are the common themes here? What is a way that this can be transcended, or this can be kind of is not going to be something that resonates in? What needs to shift within your own vibration in order to attract different experiences, things that are, going to be a sort of empowerment as opposed to, a sword that is really debilitating and cuts you down. And so this is also, again, with strategy, this process of really learning some new tools, some new coping mechanisms. If you were someone who in the past really just kind of sought out relationships, romantic, platonic, just outside people to really kind of turn your attention away from any kind of a sense of a void or a vacuum within, to really distract you from the pain, or seeking others or even other things. This can be even with food, maybe trying to kind of numb some of that pain out with some kind of overeating or undereating, some kind of distortion in that sense. But really, this ties in also with trying to kind of fill these wounds with things, some kind of a distraction to kind of plug those holes within your soul that really have been begging for you to just acknowledge them, to look at them, to accept these things, instead of kind of trying to put a plug on those emotions, which just kept building and building and kind of boiling beneath the surface over time. You've come to this point of really moving into the space of wanting to release these things, wanting to shed these things from you, wanting to move beyond these things, facing these things head on. And a lot of that strategy, again, with this bat spirit is really just going by instinct, going by trusting that on the other side of this deep and heavy work will at the very least be a sense of relief for you, which has been very fleeting in the past. So let me see, what else would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Group 1. Okay, and we have let your emotions flow. So again, confirmation of this deep emotional purging that has been taking place. You could have been crying a lot, or just very sensitive to, energies around you. Maybe again with that 4 of Swords in this period of just really kind of pulling away from friends, from family, from, being very closed off to love or new opportunities of love at this point. So that you can really kind of purge your heart space, purge out some of these emotions that have just been kind of simmering and carried with you. On this card too, her third eye is, her 2 eyes are closed, but her third eye, or as some people might call it, the first eye, is wide open. So that again ties in with this bat spirit here, and just really intuiting your way through what needs to be done, what next, in terms of, as kind of one one sort of pain or trauma that you've been carrying around, and you're kind of unpacking that, and where does that lead to next? What kind of epiphany? How does that tie into something else? A common theme, really identifying patterns and themes within your life. And again, this energy of really seeking to go within, seeking to, create this ability as well. On this card here, there's this little frog on her hand, and so, and as an amphibian, that's a creature that is dwelling both in the water and on the land. So you've kind of also been in this process of, as you're doing this deep and heavy kind of shadow work, this emotional work, in the emotional depths in the waters, working also to really ground yourself, to stay very present, seeking to really have that work that you're doing within create different results for you in your material circumstances and surroundings. And the butterfly also on this card here, this really again speaks to this transformation that is taking place also with this dragonfly, because they go through a couple different life cycles before they reach that kind of final form. They start off, I think they spend even a couple of years for the first part of their life in the water before they become this almost terrestrial and airborne creature. So both of these really speak to, again, this transformation that's taking place, this beautiful metamorphosis which is taking place. You're definitely in this process of really actively seeking to raise your vibration, not settling or accepting the way that things have been, taking a very proactive approach in, creating the future that you want to experience for yourself. Even with this sun card here and these mountains, these challenges, some very challenging or difficult heartbreaks, some difficult things to reflect on, to face up to, really look back on, or even difficult things that you need to let go of. Maybe hope that somebody would return, or hope that somebody would finally recognize your worth where they hadn't in the past. These are all just examples, but any kind of sort of challenging emotions, difficult emotions, heavy emotions, or heavy circumstances that felt very insurmountable in the past, you're now in this point of being very empowered, very courageous to face these challenges, to really address these things, to get to the top of those, to see what lessons can be learned, what wisdom can be gained from that. Instilling a sense of accomplishment also within yourself and experiencing that as you're kind of working through some of these layers, and you're starting to really shift, and you're seeing your relationships in the outside world shift in tandem with this work that you're doing within. It's kind of the reward in and of itself. You're starting to see some results in terms of, better interactions with people, or just even a feeling of lightness within yourself, things that may have been very kind of pressing from within, or that just really instilled this panicked energy, this need to focus on something else to avoid these things. As you are addressing them, you may be finding yourself at more of a place of calm, of tranquility, kind of discovering and cultivating that sanctuary within, that space of peace and safety within. So I'm going to get one more message to see what would a tarot reader or psychic tell this person about you. And we have B. Hard work is rewarded with responsibility and a sweetness that is shared. So that's a beautiful closing message for you, Group 1. And this really speaks to that hard work, that shadow work, this determination that you have to really create some better experiences for yourself going forward. With this winged creature, this bee, this really speaks to moving beyond anywhere that you felt that you were very stuck, stepping into this ability to see things from a larger perspective, even recognizing some of this pain that you have been holding on to, or that you are encountering or working your way through, really being able to recognize that there's some fruit on the other side of that. There's something, this growth that is taking place, this transformation. You're stepping into a place of being wiser, of being more self-assured, more empowered, really, again, filling your own cup, filling yourself with that love you would hope to receive from others but didn't in the past. And that this is something which, with this bee, and they're very, community oriented. These are very, they're not just solo creatures. And so this is something where you know, ultimately, this is serving to, this work that you're doing is really serving to magnetize in, you know, resonant souls, like-minded souls, people that can meet you at this level, people that are very self-aware, people that will respect your assertiveness, respect your boundaries, will recognize the way in which you have come to cherish yourself and value yourself, and prioritize your own kind of mental health and your own spiritual health, your own psychic health. And so in the past, if you really were dealing with people that didn't recognize your boundaries or didn't respect these boundaries, that a paradigm shift is happening. And on the other side of this, you know, you're getting closer and closer to a feeling of belonging, a sense of really meeting up with that which you are seeking, becoming that which you are seeking, and then, you know, being able to kind of attract and magnetize this in vibrationally in the form of others, romantic and platonic. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 1, this can be first, middle, or last name, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have F, N, O, A, W, T, V, and K. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the lemon calcite. So I'm going to start with these cards to see what would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you. And we've got the Hanged Man, which is Pisces. Temperance, which is Sagittarius. Seven of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Eight of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Two of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy. Hawthorn, balance, elemental kingdom. Fog, veiled. The Knight, triumph over adversity. Litha, intensification. And light beings. So I feel a psychic or tarot reader would tell this person that you're in this process of really taking into account some choices that were made in the past, some wrong turns that you may have made, or choices which led away from a direction of fulfillment for you. That you're kind of in this process of trying to navigate your way towards some goals, toward a better outcome for yourself. You may be in this period of facing a lot of obstacles, or a period of pause which has been necessary, maybe while waiting to have some outside circumstances play out for you, with that Hanged Man. This could be something where, because of maybe some circumstances that other people are involved in, that it is requiring some patience on your part before you are able to really kind of shift the direction that you have been heading, to really make some progress in a direction opposite to where you are going. There's a sense almost of wanting to backtrack, to reconsider something that you may have overlooked, or that wasn't clear to you before, with both this fog here with veiled, and then also on this Temperance card, there's a sun that's just kind of peeking out from behind these clouds. So maybe something that at one point in time had not seemed like the best option for you. This could even be in regards to romance. If you at one point in time with that Two of Pentacles had a choice between two people, and you chose one person, or you on the other side of that chose not to pursue something, not to accept somebody's offer. You could have been operating with kind of a skewed perspective, or not having a lot of information available, not everything being very clear, maybe about the option that you did choose. Some things that have really come to light that have and are providing some clarity for you about the true nature of a person, their true intentions. There's a sense of, really what you have chosen not actually resonating for you. This really feels like an energy of all that glitters is not gold, that you may have gone for, the glittery option, the thing which seemed the most appealing, which seemed like the most sensible option, and really it kind of fell short of your expectations. It's something that, left you with a feeling of confusion, or feeling very kind of trapped and almost led astray, but only in terms of feel this wasn't really a choice made by following your instinct or intuition, but really following what things looked like on the surface. This could also be something where if somebody had been a little withdrawn from you, perhaps even the person that would be asking a psychic or tarot reader about you, if this person had, maybe expressed some kind of fears over love, some hesitation, and you may have chosen to go in a direction of really trying to let this go, of kind of taking their aloof stance for disinterest, that this is something which is starting to, some things are starting to make sense for you about some motivations from this person. Kind of the more that you are looking at or looking upon, or some information's coming clear about some extenuating circumstances in this person's life, maybe some things that they had been dealing with previously on their end that had created some kind of fears or shadows, or like a mistrust of love almost. And so you took their guarded heart to mean that they weren't interested, they didn't really, feel anything about this connection, they didn't feel anything for you. Something's really coming to light about that. Really drawn to this lady, just kind of looking at very intently at these 8 pentacles, and within that seeing this blossoming rose. And so this really speaks to, again, with that Hanged Man and this different perspective that you're taking, or that you're being gifted, seeing things, circumstances of the past, in regards to a particular person, maybe from a whole new light, taking another look at maybe some things that were said to you in the past, and really starting to perceive some of those undertones, some of the unstated, unspoken aspects or emotions that weren't, at first glance, weren't very apparent. There's a sense of even kind of, with the ship here, and it's got this, you can't really see it because it's pretty small, but on the sail of the ship there is this yin yang. So this really could speak to, and then there's this figure who is kind of moving away from that, kind of moving off into this kind of dry seabed here. And so this really to me speaks about a choice that you may have made to move in the opposite direction, or even to move away, that you are currently making, to move away from a soulmate or a counterpart connection, to really sort of get a handle on your emotions about this person. Maybe some ways in which, the confusion and the back and forth and the unknowing had really kind of bogged you down, really kind of weighed you down, left you with a feeling of loss, a feeling of confusion. A feeling of not knowing what to expect out of this, or what this person wanted, that you are instead really shifting your focus and moving in the direction of something which is more solid, which is more stable, which is more reliable, which is more predictable, instead of really kind of being tossed around in these emotional currents with this person, or in regards to this connection. And so with this Litha card here, Litha is the summer solstice, and this really speaks to, with this image of Stonehenge and this bright light here, and this kind of, this cosmic resonance, this period of really coming into balance with yourself, of really facing some things, acknowledging some things that may, or being shown some things that may have been kind of obscured to you before, that things are really coming out into the light. Things are really, you're starting to really see a situation for some reality, or you're starting to see through some illusions that you may have held about a particular person, or again, a choice that may have been made, even to continue to pursue a soulmate connection, or like a twin flame connection, to continue to hold out hope, with that 8 of Pentacles, to put in work toward trying to really accommodate this person, or to actively hold space for this person within your heart. A lot of time may have also gone by, this period of just kind of waiting and watching, doing what you would imagine would be very pleasing to this person, almost this energy of going round and round in these circles, maybe some kind of a runner-chaser cycle that you are in this process of kind of stepping away from, moving away from. This light beings, really answering this call from your higher self, tapping into that, tuning into that, to, with this Knight card, you know, cut away from any kind of cords of maybe codependency, or anywhere that you have really been sacrificing yourself for this connection, over giving to this connection, putting in all the work and receiving very little in response to that. A psychic or tarot reader would definitely tell this person that, you know, you're stepping more into prioritizing your own needs, feeling this desire to, you know, have a reciprocal relationship, to really unbind yourself from any feeling of obligation to this person because of a title that may have been attached. Again, feeling that, you know, you needed to kind of endure or put up with or wait through this very perpetual and seemingly endless cycle, you know, with that summer solstice, this very long cycle, this very long period of time that you have waited for this person, and you've really come to this point of feeling that there's not much more to be gained from this. There's a desire to kind of get back to basics, to really focus on what else might be out there for you, what else is possible, stepping away from what you've been doing previously, and almost with this Knight card I'm feeling too, being your own savior in this circumstance. If you had been waiting for this person to really kind of shift, to come back around, to figure things out, you'd waited for this person to see the light, to really give back into this connection. You've gotten to this point where, you know, all this waiting, the choice to wait, has really just led to a collapse of a lot of dreams. It's led to you feeling very collapsed emotionally as well. And so a choice may be being made to kind of cut yourself free from that, really save yourself from this scenario. You know, if you've been waiting for some love from this person, or this, you know, with both of this Temperance and this, on this Hawthorne card here, how it says balance, you've been waiting for this person, also with the Two of Pentacles, to really to step into this relationship in a reciprocal way, to really give back, to give love, to admit to feelings, or to choose to invest in this connection. All of that waiting, you're recognizing now that it has led to a lot of imbalance. It has led to a feeling of really being kind of trapped, unable to move forward, or, you know, in this card here with this Hanged Man, he's hanging there of his own volition. There's nothing binding him. So this really speaks into this element of choice. But something is becoming clear here, that this choice is not sustainable for you. Maybe that this choice is not leading to your highest good. It's something which is not really leading to your ultimate happiness. There's this curiosity of, you know, something else that might be out there for you, or a better way that your time or kind of psychic energy could be utilized. That instead of really seeking to, even with that Eight of Pentacles, maybe actively control this situation, to create just the right circumstances, in order to, you know, make this person feel comfortable to return, for example, or to give into this connection. You're starting to understand that, you know, you're better served in your life by focusing on your own abundance and your own satisfaction, that there are things that you can control, and it is not the free will of another person. The things that you can control are, you know, the experiences that you are having, the people you are choosing to surround yourself with. Some focus may be redirected at this point in time toward your finances, toward your career, toward relationships that are an equal give and take to you, kind of breaking the cycles with this person. With this Litha card here in summer solstice being the longest day of the year, and marking that period of time of descent, because every day then after the summer solstice, the hours of daylight are a little less as we kind of move toward that autumnal equinox, and then ultimately then the counterpart of this summer solstice being the winter solstice, the first day of winter, the shortest day. So I feel that this really is speaking to kind of the pinnacle or the peak of what you can and what you are willing to invest into a connection, that it's this period of really shifting to kind of pulling your energy back, moving away from how you've been showing up previously, kind of keeping some of that energy for yourself, more in this process of giving to yourself as opposed to, really projecting or pushing out. So this can even be, if this is a runner chaser cycle, this can really signal this period of time of discontinuing that chase instead of projecting that energy out, that energy of hope, that energy of desire, of wanting, of like pursuit almost of this person. You're in this process of kind of redirecting that back in, pursuing dreams and goals, magnetizing things to you as opposed to actively seeking to obtain these things. So in terms of love, I think if this, a psychic or a tarot reader would definitely tell anybody, this person who is asking, that you're going through a shift. You are making yourself a priority, that where a cycle of pursuit, of running, of chasing this person that, you both may have been embroiled in for quite some time, that the tables are turning, that, you're giving up that chase, you're kind of abandoning that chase. You're stepping out of any kind of illusions that you may have had, that, by infusing this connection with love, it would be enough to make this person kind of recognize your worth and value. Instead of really operating from that space, you're kind of moving into this energy of cherishing and appreciating yourself for who you are, regardless of who else acknowledges that or is able to receive that or is able to recognize that. You're starting to really move into a space of valuing yourself, appreciating yourself, recognizing the worth of the love you have to give, and not endlessly pouring into a cup that gives nothing back. With this Temperance card here, and she's pouring these cups out into this water, but nothing is really being poured back in. So this speaks to again kind of discontinuing this pursuit, ending the chase, focusing on something else, not investing all your emotional happiness in the outcome of this connection, or even just opening your mind to the possibility of love that might be found elsewhere. A person who might be in better resonance with you energetically than somebody you may have previously projected these expectations or even a title of like a twin flame or a soulmate upon. Though that person may still hold that space for you within, this definitely indicates a period of shifting away from making that the priority, opening yourself up to the possibility of, with this light beings, and it's this figure who's kind of remote from this earth, that love is out there for you somewhere else in a different form, in a place that you may not have anticipated or expected, opening up your mind to something else coming in for you. Opening up your mind and your heart to the possibility of, satisfaction in love being different from what you might have imagined, or somehow distinct from the person that you may have previously kind of invested all of your hopes and desires onto. So I'm going to get some more messages to see what would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you. Group 2. Okay, so we have Moth Spirit, surrender now. So this again reinforces that energy of maybe giving up the chase, surrendering this journey, surrendering even the title associated with a particular person, as a soulmate, as a twin flame, maybe still, attaching that title to them, but surrendering the expectation of outcomes, kind of giving up this chase. Moving in a direction almost with this moth, and these are kind of the butterflies of the night, who are attracted to kind of light sources in the dark. And so I feel that this speaks too about where you may have really been operating in a space with this person up to this point of not a lot being clear to you, also with that fog and that veiled energy right there. and that obscured sun in the Temperance card, where, you know, a lot of this may have just been based on hope, that there was not a lot being shown or demonstrated, not a lot of movement happening. And so it was almost like chasing this flame of potential, what you had hoped would happen with them. But other than that kind of glimmer of hope, not seeing a lot of evidence materializing for you. And this may have been a long time of kind of chasing that dream, chasing that glimmer of possibility. And it's this stage of really wanting to experience a more vibrant world for yourself, wanting to experience something more tangible, kind of seeing beyond in those perimeters, beyond that kind of glimmer of hope that, you know, there really might not have been a whole lot else for you to go on, or if this connection is still here, that, you know, it is unsustainable to continue to kind of operate in this manner of kind of pursuing this person in the dark. And so it's a process of really instead choosing to focus on the light within yourself, cultivate that, recognizing your own worth, instead of pursuing that out there, you know, pursuing it from within, seeking to really foster and fan that flame from within, so that, you know, you're able to really emanate this very bright beacon to others, so that, you know, perhaps if it's this person who giving up this chase might be the energetic shift necessary for them to have with that Hanged Man, their own kind of wake up call into, you know, like with Temperance and this balance reference here, to really give something back into this connection, feeling the kind of loss of that, the loss of you energetically pushing against them, which causes them to kind of turn around and you know, make like a 180-degree turn and give chase. So for some of you, that could be the result here. That could be what happens. But ultimately, it's really, you know, seeking to fan that flame within yourself, so that as you are kind of raising your vibration, then a romantic partner, a soulmate, a resonant soul with you is able to really see that, is able to really perceive that light, perceive that sense of self-value and worth, that you're worth more than just kind of the crumbs somebody leaves behind, or kind of the fumes or the vapors of them moving out of your existence. That, you know, recognizing you're worth so much more than that. You're worth something that's more tangible than that. You know, it's something where it is not too high of an expectation to have a very bright and colorful experience of love, as opposed to something which is just very kind of dim and obscured, which may have been your experience up to this time with this person. And so when you make that a priority, then, you know, you're able to kind of magnetize somebody in who prioritizes that same thing and is able to really see you in your authenticity, see you standing in your worth, see you recognizing your value and prioritizing that. And kind of, you can move into this energy of being the one who is pursued perhaps for a change, as opposed to, you know, just feeling that you need to constantly be on the chase for somebody else, a chase for validation or recognition, or, you know, acknowledgement that you are lovable. So let's see, what else would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Group 2. Okay, and we have rest and rejuvenation. So this really speaks again of this energy of kind of going within, seeking to fan the flames of your own heart, of your own brilliance, moving into more of a period of receptivity, out of this energy of kind of pursuit and chase and acquisition, and more into this state or stance of magnetizing to you that which you seek to receive. All right, and we have seek your destiny. So this is again speaking to you know, this understanding, this idea, and it ties in for me with this light beings card of, you know, this perhaps love, perhaps a soulmate is somewhere out there, outside of the bounds or the realm of what you had previously defined was it for you, this twin flame or this soulmate, a particular person, kind of detaching yourself from the expectation of specificity and moving more into the realm of energy and archetype. identifying, qualities that are important for you, what you want to experience out of love, and seeking to be very open to that, moving into a space of receptivity that the universe will, provide to you, that which is for your highest good. Moving into a space of being open to receive a particular person if they're able to do the work and shift and change as is necessary to meet you at your level, but also being open to the universe delivering something better for you, a better match for you, if that is truly where your highest good lies. And get one final card for you here, group 2. What would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Okay, and we have butterfly, delight in life and embrace change as the source of your creativity. So that's a beautiful final message for you, group 2. And it really, it ties in obviously with that moth card, that butterfly of the night. And then here we have the butterfly of the light, so to speak. So this really speaks of this shift taking place, where, maybe you were just kind of operating almost on a wing and a prayer is what I'm hearing with, in terms of this person, a particular person, a soulmate, a twin flame. And you may have been pursuing that for quite some time, but, a change is taking place. This metamorphosis is taking place, to where you're really focusing on your own self-worth, on your own ability to attract to you that which is for your highest good. You're moving out of this energy of pursuit into this energy of being and of becoming, recognizing that you are worthy and you are lovable. You're deserving of an abundance of love and beauty in your life just as you are. So a lot of transforming. Definitely if this person were to ask a psychic or a tarot reader, especially if this is the person that you've been chasing, I feel overwhelmingly they would be told that you're kind of giving up this chase. You are really shifting your focus. You're reprioritizing. You're prioritizing yourself. A choice that may have been made to just give or overly give to this connection in the past, with very little being given back, or just in the hopes that love would somehow cause somebody else to make certain actions or choices or change their mind about some things, that a path which was previously embarked upon is now being rerouted. They would be told that you're in this process of kind of cutting free from that, kind of ending some codependency, and really focusing on yourself, focusing on raising your vibration, recognizing your worth, your worthiness of love, and moving and shifting more into an energy of receptivity, which then opens up it creates the invitation for this person to do that work within themselves, to do what is necessary to kind of course correct in their own life, to move out of that energy of running and kind of shift into that energy of pursuit. That the roles then may be reversed in this circumstance, or it can at the minimum then give them this energetic space to really breathe and really evaluate, to really recognize and analyze the connection in their own way, without all that kind of that pressure that they may have been feeling to continue to run or flee from this, that they're able to, in this very unencumbered way, kind of reflect back on the connection, reflect back on themselves, what is important, what do they value, and then it opens up the space for them to make the choice, if they want, to move back in your direction, to do what is necessary to kind of rise up and meet you at that same level that you are ascending into, of being very loving of self, valuing yourself. And then it presents this person an opportunity to kind of do what is necessary to offer you something which is fulfilling and lasting and true. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this could be first, middle, or last name of you, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have M, F, L, H, G, V, N, and O. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the purple fluorite. So I'm going to start with these cards to see what would a psychic or tarot reader tell them about you. I've got the Ace of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Six of Wands, so more of that fire energy. Strength, which is Leo. Eight of Swords, air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. 10 of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Astral travel, vital force, information, dream time, soul travel. Childhood, innocence. The Chimera, imagination clouds your judgment. Spirit, initiation. And divine feminine. So I feel that a psychic or tarot reader would tell this person that you are in this process of really facing your fears about love. Fears of maybe being trapped in kind of a repeating cycle with a person or with love in general, always attracting a particular type of person into your life or a certain outcome or expectation that you have in terms of love. This can also be something where if you are finding yourself at a distance from somebody, say this person who is asking a psychic or tarot reader about you, and a feeling of, the circumstance not changing, or feeling that there is nothing that can be done to change the circumstances, that it's something that you're just kind of bound to keep going through this same phase with this person, this holding pattern that you may find yourself in. On this Eight of Swords, it's these two people that are kind of surrounded by these swords, these thoughts, these kind of fears or feelings of being trapped, or this sense of defeat. And they're both in this same kind of situation, this same kind of cycle of fears and uncertainty. But they're not looking at each other. They're each kind of focusing on their own fears, which in actuality are really of the same kind of design, basically. So instead of working together towards solutions, this looks to be two people who are very consumed by their own thoughts, who are seeing themselves as, really having to strategize and handle some of these difficulties on their own, not really recognizing that, in fact, the bond perhaps between them is something which can be harnessed and utilized to kind of transcend these boundaries. This could be something also with the Strength card, and in this Six of Wands in this deck, both of these have these lions. So this can really speak to, this triumph over adversity, this triumph over these fears, this period of victory here. Successfully kind of navigating one's way through some difficulties, maybe some strains in communication. With the Ace of Wands, some realization that is happening as far as some deep feelings that a psychic reader or a psychic or a tarot reader would tell this person, some deep feelings that this person that they're asking about, so you, the viewer, has about this circumstance, a way in which you can, kind of extricate yourself from these feelings of defeat, any kind of challenges in communication at this time, or really communicating your needs, this sense of wish fulfillment, coming to terms with this realization that despite the challenges, despite the obstacles, that your heart lies with this person, that it's something that you may be finding yourself in a difficult period right now with this card of initiation, but that the challenges that you are going through with them, or even just, I'm feeling with this kind of this astral travel, and this is reminding me of just sort of meeting up in the astral realm, meeting up with in dreams with this person, that you're being guided to ways around this, ways around these constrictions or these limitations, being really invited to kind of tap into the higher levels of this connection, into the soul bond, utilizing telepathy, utilizing meditation, with this chimera right here. And these are kind of these creatures that are almost this combination of several creatures, kind of this morphed being. So this really speaks to, again, kind of changing up the way in which communication is expected and received in this connection, opening up to, again, sort of the messages from the higher self of this person as being reflective of a facet of this soul, that what's taking place in the 3D between the two of you, between you and the person who is asking the psychic or tarot reader about you, that you're in this process of really kind of transcending that, transcending kind of the 3D limitations, the 3D obstacles, and tapping into that heart space, that kind of higher realm space, that higher level space, to find a way to really make this connection work, working with the tools that you have, kind of a blending of, being very grounded, very present in this reality, being very accepting of the 3D circumstances, acknowledging that, free will definitely is something which is manifested through the 3D vessel, through the 3D being with its ego and, fears and expectations. But that beyond, that's not the limit. Of the situation, that beyond that and in the kind of the higher layers of the realms outside of the third dimension, there's more of a purity toward the unquenchable fire of the soul, that this bond that exists between the both of you at the core of it all. This is something that, despite what is happening in the 3D circumstances, despite the ways in which your journeys may diverge, in which the choice may be made on one or both your parts not to actively work on this connection at this time or in this lifetime, that beyond all of that, in the eternity of your souls, you are both connected, that all of this has really been designed, this experience that you're having with this person in this lifetime, to force you to kind of face some fears, both of you to face some kind of fears, to really harvest and cultivate some of these strengths within you, this courage to continue to believe in this love, this courage to believe that the bond between you is really kind of the director in this experience, in this play, in this stage of life that you are both engaged in and embodied in at this point in time. But kind of looking beyond that, seeing beyond that, maybe even recognizing the potential of 3D union, physical union in another lifetime, for example, or further down the road, trusting that the challenges and obstacles that are being faced at this point in time, that they are all for a purpose, and that at the end of it all and beyond time, the two of you are in fact one. You are in fact one at the heart space. You're able to communicate and encourage and support yourself. So this is really this period of kind of stepping into that acceptance, into that knowledge, that knowing, almost with this this beginner's mind, with this childhood card and this innocence, this idea that being very curious about knowing that there is this soul bond between the both of you, knowing that at the higher realms you are connected, you are one, you are eternal, and for whatever reason you have chosen to incarnate in these, as these two people at this point in time who have made choices to either work on this or it seems really just kind of move in opposite directions from each other, but with that beginner's mind, that trusting that it is for a larger purpose, trusting that there is something beyond just 3D union that is to be gained from this connection. There's a purpose for this incarnation beyond that happily ever after in the 10 of Cups. There's something that on an individual level, you both have really triggered each other into learning, discovering, doing, or becoming, and that you are also simultaneously really supporting each other through that process of kind of blending with this chimera, kind of blending who you were, maybe the old kind of view of the world or who you were in the world. And then this person comes into your experience. Maybe this feels definitely like twin flame vibes here. So comes into your experience and really ignites something, awakens something, kind of shakes your foundation, leads to a lot of things crumbling through, the nature of the experience together and kind of the intensity of emotions that are felt. But it's all with this purpose then of kind of rebuilding, reshaping, reforming yourselves into versions that are maybe different than how you started off in this lifetime, coming into that space of authenticity, into that space of, operating from the heart, feeling with the heart, acting from the heart first, as opposed to just the overly logical mind, sort of this marriage of the head and heart that is taking place with this chimera here, and recognizing the gift of even the most difficult aspects of this experience, the most confusing aspects of this experience with this person that you know, this is all part of this initiation toward awakening, toward ascension, toward, you know, being triggered to doing that work on yourself, to cultivating self-awareness, and to really seeing again beyond kind of the parameters and the constrictions of the third dimension, recognizing the soul self, understanding that as, you know, a vital and actual part of who you both truly are, that you are so much more than flesh, you are so much more than what is said, what is done, what is not said, what is not done, that these, you know, bodies and these experiences you may find yourself in are merely avatars. They are expressions of kind of a larger frequency of soul that has come down into this 3D experience. And so a psychic or a tarot reader would tell this person you are definitely seeking to transcend those limits of the flesh, exploring more of, you know, the etheric body, the soul body, seeking to really access that, your higher self, the higher realms, the higher aspects of this connection, seeking to tap into that with this person. And this person would most likely also be would be invited to do that as well, to really seek to connect with you in the higher realms, in dreams, in meditation, you know, through telepathy, through, you know, conscious soul contact, and to really utilize that as kind of a place to recharge, a place to come back to center, a place to come back to home, despite whatever, you know, difficulties or obstructions might be happening in this connection in the 3D or even in both of your lives individually, that this is a journey of really also stepping into your power, that's the point that you're at right now, or that you're moving into, is reclaiming your power, creating this balance between yourself, this balance between the head and the heart, kind of facing some fears and with courage, you know, moving through those, utilizing the shadows within self and really seeking to incorporate that in with your light so that you become a well-articulated, well-rounded person, coming to terms with your emotions, with your emotional needs, how these have been met or not been met, coming to terms with, you know, the very unique expression of who you are as a soul. And then really also, I feel, starting to get into this place of recognizing your life purpose, your life path, exploring the purpose of this connection as well, and why you and this person have really materialized in the third dimension at this point in time, coming into each other's lives to really spark something, to really awaken something within one another, only to go into, you know, a period of difficulty or separation or no contact, that you're really starting to kind of work through the pieces of that, or the angles of that, or starting to get this larger perspective on that. It's starting to make a lot more sense, kind of the grander plan that both of your souls had for this experience in this lifetime. So get a little bit more about this for you. Group 3, what would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Okay, and we have Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. So this really speaks to me about you moving into this place of going with the flow. With seahorses and that little curly tail that they have, they attach themselves to a piece of kelp or seaweed as they are sleeping. And, you know, they're very grounded, they're very rooted to that solid foundation, but then their body just kind of flows with the ocean currents. They're not fighting that. They're not trying to, you know, stay very strong and kind of resistant to the push and the pull of these larger forces, these currents, the movement of the water of their environment. They're instead just very much allowing themselves to ebb and to flow with that, focused on a strong foundation and really trusting that will hold, the integrity of that will hold through this kind of flux and flow. And this, I feel, is really speaking to what is going on currently with you, is this sense of becoming very grounded, becoming very cognizant, very aware, very self-assured, very empowered in who you are in your 3D and material circumstances, but then kind of ascending, getting more familiar with kind of those higher aspects of self, those soul aspects of self, those antennae that you possess out into the ethers that are a source of guidance for you, or, you know, a place in which you can connect with this person, with your spirit guides, your ancestors, your angels, source, God, goddess, whatever you resonate with, really extending yourself up into, an existence that is beyond just what is here and now, trusting, while remaining grounded, bringing down a lot of information as well from the higher realms, to try and make sense of kind of your purpose in this lifetime, the purpose of this connection, and how this bond between the both of you, as you are really kind of in this space of being very simultaneous in these circumstances with some difficulties or challenges you might be facing, but really going it alone, almost this energy of kind of parallel paths, that you're really starting to recognize the ways in which kind of this cohesion of the bond between the both of you can really be harnessed, can really be, utilized for your benefit, for your highest good, as opposed to this feeling something, a soul bond or a connection that you feel very trapped in, looking this as something where, with this cord here, this braided cord, this braiding of the souls, this kind of, an energy of stronger together, wanting to really work with this connection, work with the bond that you share with this person, even from afar, as opposed to really, fighting that or seeking to untangle that, finding a way to kind of bring that in, incorporate that into who you are moving forward. So let's get a little bit more for you. Group 3, what would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Okay, and we have blossoming abundance. So this is really speaking of, again, harnessing, utilizing this connection, the energetic connection between the both of you, to your advantage, to your benefit. Seeing this as something that is a blessing, as opposed to, maybe some kind of a limitation, or even feeling kind of cursed by this connection in the past, that it's something where your focus about it and your perception about it, your perspective of it is really shifting. You're seeing this as something very unique. To have incarnated with this person in this way in this lifetime, and to be able to have the awareness of that soul bond, to be able to have the tools at your disposal, and the curiosity to really explore this, to really find answers, uncover answers, to be able to tap into that higher self for, validation or some kind of downloads or inspirations about that the more that you are leaning into this, the more you're moving into that energy of surrender, as opposed to really fighting this. You're really working with this, working with what you have, with this person. Again, tapping into that soul aspect, the higher aspect of things, kind of the energetic exchange that can occur despite what might be kind of limiting the both of you in the third dimension. That this is something, as you are really tapping into that resource, into that energetic current, that energetic bond, that exchange between the both of you. It's something which is really helping you to kind of empower yourself, to nurture yourself, to move more in the direction of your highest good, and really stepping into this life purpose, into that life's path, and creating a very abundant, enriching and fulfilling experience for yourself in this lifetime. So let's see, what else would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? Group 3. Okay, and we have change is unavoidable. So this again really speaks to going with the flow, kind of this braiding, this marrying of sort of the light and the shadow aspects of this connection, moving beyond that, transcending beyond that, kind of the expectation of what you have for this versus the reality of what you might be facing right now, and choosing instead to kind of look at the bigger picture of this connection with this person. Feeling very comfortable and willing as well with this snake here, who is shedding his skin in this image right here of really shifting out of an old way of being, allowing the transformations that are wanting to take place, even through some kind of dark night of the soul, some kind of ascension, some kind of awakening, as your old self is really crumbling away. Even the old expectations, or what you thought the purpose of this connection was in the past, allowing that to kind of fall away and expanding into a larger perspective. The understanding that this connection is most likely of a larger significance than just 3D 3D happily ever after, that there is a larger purpose for this. There's a larger purpose for you coming into awareness of this person in this lifetime, the energy you're feeling between the both of you, the energy exchange, some gifts which may have been activated within you, or just a path that you may now find yourself on, a healing journey, an ascension journey, a spiritual journey, that were it not for this connection and kind of all the confusing and exciting things that have happened and the feelings that you have gone through, were it not for that, you may have found yourself living more of a limited or insulated, or less, you would have had less awareness, less perception of yourself and the world in general than you do now. So again, really moving into this space of kind of stepping beyond the old expectations. It feels like this connection is, at least in the energetic sense, in the process of really evolving to the next level, really working to release expectations and to lean in and appreciate the bond that you do share with this person, moving out of a period of doubt and fear that what you're feeling energetically, that it's not matching up with what you are seeing in the 3D, and allowing too much of your belief and your faith and your trust to rely on that. Instead, learning to lean into this heart space, trusting more in what you are feeling, what you are sensing, as opposed to what you are seeing, what is being demonstrated to you. And then based upon that, just utilizing that confirmation within you, that feeling, that resonance within you, to, again, this energy of stronger together than apart, really seeking to, bond with this person energetically, to move forward toward the unfolding of your life's purpose, toward, stepping into your life's path, and really realizing and unveiling that full potential within you, equipped and empowered by the energy that you share with this person, this bond, this twin flame bond, this soulmate bond, instead of being very consumed about what you feel that it should look like, what your perceptions of relationships might have been previous, or your experiences in relationships previous, kind of like a timeline, a sequence of things that needed to take place. And this connection most likely defies all of those things. It's something which really is very much outside of the box for you. It kind of pulls you and plunges you outside of what you have come to expect for love, for yourself, your worldview in general, and you're kind of rising into this level of higher experience. And this snake also speaks to, this kundalini energy, this kundalini rising, really activating your chakras, feeling the essence of this kind of awakening, this spark which has occurred within you through interacting with this person, through meeting this person. And it's something which is really it's raising your vibration. It's really bringing some elements of your energetic body to your awareness online for the first time. It's really, again, bringing up some kind of some gifts, some increased perceptions and ability to connect with your higher self. And we also have, as on this Six of Wands and the strength of these lions here on this this crown here, there's also a lion there. So again, stepping into this place of empowerment, becoming very empowered by the energy between the both of you within this connection, as opposed to really fearing this or operating from an area of fear, an area of lack, where you were kind of focused on what is not showing up, what is not being displayed for you in the material realm in terms of your expectations, to instead really step into this place of utilizing what you do have with this person and using that to your benefit to really help to propel you on your own personal journey to empowerment and standing in your truth and purpose in this lifetime. So I'm going to get a final message for you, group 3. What would a psychic or tarot reader tell this person about you? All right, and we have butterfly. Delight in life and embrace change as the source of your creativity. So this again speaks to this energy of transformation, this metamorphosis, moving beyond any kind of ideas or expectations of what this relationship or connection means or should look like in the third dimension. Any ways that this was maybe keeping you, almost with that energy of a caterpillar, kind of like bound to sort of the lower aspects of it, the feelings of loss, the feelings of longing, the feelings of despair, allowing yourself to be transformed as well by the energetic bond that you share with this person, so that you are able to take flight in your life. You're able to step into that purpose. You're able to access and see horizons that may not have been so apparent or important to you before. This speaks about the higher aspects, the higher levels of this connection, allowing yourself to be transformed by these energies. For all the most beautiful ways. And it talks about creativity here as well on this card. So I feel a psychic or tarot reader would really tell this person that you're really harnessing this bond. You're co-creating with this person, both a version of yourself that is more authentic and more in alignment with your purpose in this lifetime. And you're also really utilizing this this experience, this energy exchange to create a life that is very exciting for you. You may be utilizing this in your creative pursuits as well. If you are some kind of an artist or a creative person, there could be some creative gifts which are really coming online that you're really able to access. Maybe even the pain and the confusion that you have experienced through this and with this person, that is something you are really you're channeling out into creativity, both as a form of healing for yourself and also healing for others. That you're in this process of transmutation, of really starting to work with this energy as opposed to fight against this energy. So definitely a psychic reader or a psychic or tarot reader would tell this person that you're moving into more of a state of flow. And I feel that they would definitely open that invitation to this person as well to, kind of look to you as an example of sort of the other area of what can be experienced versus the discomfort of kind of perpetually fighting and doubting and really questioning this connection, to move instead into a place of flow, receptivity, and gratitude. And that is something which can really lead to a lot of abundance, that there's a larger purpose for this soul connection, for this bond. And it's not one which is meant to, really be a deterrent to happiness, but it is instead a pathway and a portal toward cultivating and discovering and creating that happiness for oneself, first and foremost, from within. So I'm going to close this reading out for you, group 3, with some initials. It can be first, middle, or last name, or it can spell something out. Okay, and we have I, P, H, Y, L, A, D, and Z. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.